make reference to something? That's what he uses the word zoom. Exactly. That's what zoom is in there, isn't it?
Okay, what Chief Doak is saying is that had you written a patent, you would have described the invention as the ability to do this correctly and just said, this is the cool part of what we're doing. These things that we outline is the ability for you to put a picture on a web page.
Well, he did know that an important element was the fact that when we went in and made a figure,
the computer ethics are not in here at all. Not even mentioned to that concept. Complete failure. It's not.
But if he said, if it's then destroyed when we zoom,
nope. Nothing like that.
It's the same thing, isn't it?
Yeah, but he hasn't said any. He doesn't even tell you.
What about the panning element? Or is that element not that element?
That's, that's part of the whole process is to be able to zoom while panning.
But here it is. The whole process can utilize and create higher zoom capabilities with each new depth layer.
No, so that's a new depth layer which is bringing in another hotspot image. So it's really a completely different subject.
Okay.
Where he's very crafty.
Okay. Here, further zoom capacity of up to 1,700 times a greater may be easily obtained with the present invention. Are they talking about the hotspot now? No. That's the general zooming capability. So it's not an addition. You guys didn't put it in the formal. He didn't put it in the formal one, and that's what we want to do it. But he could have, without it being construed as an addition. Yes. Well, I don't know. Sorry. Whether or not it's supported is a question that's going to be determined either between you and the examiner, other than that, it's between you and another lawyer someday when the case gets litigated. The question is, and again the test is, can the average person skilled in the art, the average designer of this type of software, can he read this document and make and use your invention without inventing? That's the test. Okay. Now, whether he uses the word zoom in here and magnification later, that doesn't matter as long as he knows that. If it is so simple to build by reading this, you don't need any subject matter. If you're combining three elements, A, B, and C, and A, B, and C are standard in the art, and you tell them these are standard in the art, go combine A, B, and C, that could be a one-page application. The average person would pick it up, and he could. So test. Are you with me? The more complex it is, the more you want it supported in the spec. So that is basically simple, and he just wrote it as basically simple. Does that support our position anyway now? That support our position? Okay. So then I don't know, at least from this place,
is that the provisional you're reading about, right?
I think it's same. I think they're identical. I think you have to note that there are differences.
Where did you find that piece?
Now, continuing to the question, is the reason why we came to the formal in March of this year, which I didn't realize it, so I thought that we were arguing and doing everything, but apparently they were following that all. We didn't get even all the time, and that's the one that was, we didn't find out till where they were. If the reason, or perhaps the reason that he did that was the easiest way to do it in the course of least resistance, and he thought he could go back and, is there an amendment procedure? That he could do it a few months later, or something like that. That was John Shishkin before the formal fight. And in fact, I have my notes here from that conversation. Okay,
can you mention it about them?
Yeah, I said, I got my notes. This is my original copy. Claims do not reference stitching. The patent act does not cover combining enhanced data image with zooming pad controls. The covers for creating enhanced images to facilitate zooming pad functionality without discretion. Those are my notes.
And you told him that.
Here's a man that's cognizant of what was necessary to be in. How did I file a patent without any of the
me, but many of Eliot, Brian, I think around Proskauer, and so on and so forth, how did they get through the cracks that he did this? Well, it didn't get through the cracks. Brian addressed it with him. What he was going to do was he was going to yeah, he was going to he didn't think he could get this in. He would submit and then would turn that around and amend it. And then
Yeah.
That sort of it. It was because it was coming. He was going to smash that and fire it. And at the same time, that he was leaving the film.
Yeah.
So we just think that probably he knew at that time that he probably would be leaving. Right. They wanted to get out of the first show so he could do the billing and get that part of it in. And I got that. You give me my sign on it. I couldn't find the date down there. He was here. He killed. And he wanted to get that. That could be good. Whatever the reason is, it's not. I mean, we respect it. And I'm not trying to, I was trying to get make sure we get advantage. And I called him this kind of work in our behalf. But one time or two times that I met him, it seemed like he was earnestly trying to help. Who knows? Maybe he was incompetent. I'm really suggesting that
what it's not in your patent, it's right up front. This is the invention. There's a gross neglect. And the fact that it doesn't say this is what the invention is trying to do. This is the
point is not whether or not it's gross neglect or not. It's what the damage is if there is. If one, the gross neglect is of any import, and two, what is the damage of it? That's I think what we need to ascertain here. I guess we can have this. How do we fix it? Yes, first let's try to fix it. Okay. You're absolutely, let me go over the procedures so everybody's clear. Again, on one end of the spectrum, you follow a very sparse, like a one-page provisional application, and it's cheap, and the purpose of a provisional is to get in line. Get you in line. It's actually not get you in line. It is to protect your date. What you're trying to do is get the benefit of your priority date. When you invent it, when you're in line in terms of who's the next guy, that's the second. That's what you're in. I do that kind of thing. You don't mean not physically in line, or not even in line in order with that. That's because it depends on what's going on. Okay. Within 1 year, later, the provisional expires, and you have to file a non-provisional patent application. Okay. Many times it's identical. If you do a good job up front, you just file it, but you need to put claims on it this time. When I do a provisional, I try, if there's money and time up front, to do it once, up front. I even write the claim. But in fact, I don't even like to file a provisional, because there's not much of an advantage. If you got the time and the money up front and do a good job, well then just file it. Understand that in the beginning, the time and the money, the time was certainly allowable, but the money was of short sentence, and so it was obvious that Ray would be working in a most expeditious way. Well, that's why the short-circuit is because of the lack of funds. Well, that's true, because the other filing rate is $324.99. That was very early in the day. We did it in your office, Chris, and you were right in your library, your conference. The only meeting I had with them was that we had a file with that. Okay, $324.99 is the provisional application. That's what I'm saying. So even at a year, he filed the second one with claims. So I had real quick, two things happened during the year. One, the company was doing other things, even though they knew that was coming up. And two, I guess there wasn't a whole lot of money to allocate towards we hired Joao on the monies that were raised by the investors, and then when Hyzenda was coming in with their money, and when that money came in, we made a company decision that the first and foremost thing was to get the patent filed properly. So the fact that we were going to spend more money and get it completed at that point had already been made. Okay. But prior to that, we were working on short funds. Then after that, we always knew that the priority of this was our intellectual property, so we were going to make sure that those got done right. Brian's been working on it ever since. And I feel comfortable. I know it did feel comfortable with Rachel. I mean, it's just an observation.
Is it all patent attorneys?
No, I was wrong with Joe. He came in, he was a nice guy, he got a party, all the nice things. His work always appeared sloppy. Okay? And that's the way I can tell you. If you're a patent attorney, you see what he did. If I'm wrong, then let me know. But to me, it looked like it was a little slipshod. But then he made some statements that really bothered me too, that I don't think he should have made to a client. And that is that he was firing his own patent. I mean, Herschel, I never heard a patent attorney in my life. Telling me that he's an inventor, firing his own patent. It really did bother me. Like video. I invented it all the time. Video files. But not every day. That's the key.
Transmitting video files from on a communication networks for
There's probably no line of the basis of concealing it. No, I don't know. It part of it did ring a bell. But pure bother, it made me a little nervous. I would say that why would we be dealing with somebody, but we were sure that this was a good film. And I think so. Back in my spiel with the provisional. So you file a provisional, then within 1 year, you file a regular application with the claims. Now you can add claims to it, but if you add subject matter to it, in other words, if the zoom and pan concept wasn't well described, you have lost the benefit of that data. Right. Now why is that going to hurt you? Two main reasons. One is if you put it on sale, offered it for sale, or you publicly disclosed it, there's certain regulations that say you got to get something on file. So if you publicly disclosed it, that's what protects, get an application on file, that will protect you from losing your data because of public disclosure and offer for sale. I think that's what he was trying to get the earlier dates for. Sure. And when I spoke with Grebe, when I was trying to get all these files, and his comments to me were, when we were on the phone, remember that we were asking him where was this stuff, and he said, well, he kept building on and he learned more as got in it. And after I reviewed these applications, I agree that you're learning more as you're going along. I'm doing the same thing.
So it's kind of a learning curve to fail to find a Zoom description that adequately makes, especially in the claims. And if you're reading the claims...
But, he's going to say that the claims are of no import right now. All you have to do is in the file, I can go amend those right now. We can sit down and read it. There's no problem. There's always maybe a little money that has been duplicated. Here's the problem. And this is what I want to get at. If he's trying to claim zoom and pan, and I rewrite the claims to claim zoom and pan, and the examiner says, that's good, but it's new matter.
You can zoom up to 1,700 times.
If my claim is supported by the spec on that date, then you're fine. I can't answer that without going in there.
If we read the provision and see that it says...
Before we call this, aren't you privy to everything that's been done? Oh, sure, I have. So whenever I ask you a question, why can't you answer? Because there's no, in my opinion, there's no clear-cut answer, yes or no, on the website. It's a judgment call.
So that's an exposure. And what if the
judgment call is what we're saying? The damage? No, it's not a the examiner would, it's who says the target. It could be the examiner if he catches it. If it's not caught and you get the patent and you litigate the patent, and if I want, if the examiner catches it, I want to appeal it to the Board of Appeals in the patent office, it's there. Okay, so we go to court and we're fighting over the patent. We would argue that it's supported by the Zoom 1700 and all that, and then the other side would say that the only, that's too bad that